right before you came on, you posted the with Instagram story showing that there's stories on Instagram, right? I am woefully inept.
Stories and reels.
Stories and reels. I have no idea Instagram wise. I'm still back on Tumblr or something. I didn't even know Tumblr.
I saw you posted a note.
Yeah, I'm still back on AOL Messenger for God's sake. I got no bring. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. We're still on MySpace right now.
Right. So get out my Zanga, fellas.
You're all on my top 8 spaces. But no, you posted it, and your cosplays are phenomenal. I freaking love. You got the IIconics outfit. It was wonderful. You nailed it. Absolutely. The energy and the vibe was perfect.
Thank you. I did not expect so much feedback on that, or I really didn't. I was just like, it's just another cosplay. Billie Kay was actually a cosplay I had been dying to do for years. And the fact that I waited so long, I don't know why. But I actually had multiple friends that would tell me you look so much like her when I used to wear the red lipstick. So I'm just I'm over here, all in my head. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I could pull this off.
You did. You really did.
Yeah, you pulled it.
Thank you. I didn't expect it to be how it did. I was like,
in the time between when I posted that on my way to my mom's house and when I got to my mom's house, my friend's wife messaged me and said, "Oh my God, who is this baddie?" So nailed it.
Shout out to you, girl.
Right? Yeah. Nailed it.
Oh man.
Man, thank you so much. No, it was like I said, it was one of the cosplays. There was another cosplay I actually had in mind for me to kind of do a Billie Kay cosplay, but that would have taken a lot of time. And that was actually before the pandemic, it was actually my initial cosplay thought if Mania were to ever come to LA. I was like, if Mania were to come to LA, and hoping, of course, at that time that, IIconics would still be there. I was like, this is what I want to do. But now that I did it, I'm just it was just random. I literally got off work and I was like, let me do a cosplay today. I was like, let me do IIconics because people have been asking for it and I have not delivered.
I love that an impromptu decision turned out so well.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Hey, sometimes that's how life is. You can plan, but sometimes it's just going with the flow of the moment, and that's just what works.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. I feel like sometimes when you plan stuff, no matter how much you plan it and you get it together, sometimes it just doesn't work out as it should be or as you planned it or as you expect and stuff. But definitely this one was super unexpected. It blew up on TikTok. So I was just like, what? This is crazy. And so many people complimenting the fact that, because a lot of people, on the internet tend to bash others, when, trying to do stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm just
tiny bit.
I was just I kind of thought, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm probably going to get backlash on it. I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to do it anyways. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, you know what? I was like, let's do it. That's at the moment, I literally filmed it and I just posted it. I was just like, I'm not even gonna think about it. Just do it. So the fact that it was that was the one thing I was just like, you know what? I need to bring myself. Billie Kay gave me that inspiration, pun intended. I'm just wanting to just do it, just put it out there, everything. So I love it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
To that, has there been, because I think one of the biggest things is the expectations. You didn't have any. So, as a matter of fact, it sounds like your expectations were, this might be shit. So
I expected maybe 100 likes. I was like, okay, that's it's all this gonna be. I've had posts that have exceeded that and stuff, but I didn't really expect it to be that. Sure. I was like, oh shoot.
And then when you plan so much, you have the expectations. Every time you see a notification, you're like, oh, okay. And then you're just you're tracking it like a goon.
Yes.
But have you had any where you're like, this one is on point, and then you're just kind of sitting there in a room by yourself looking around like, is anyone gonna fucking like this thing?
Oh.
I've had that with a couple posts, like even before reels, like just pictures alone when I was just posting pics.
Right.
I was like, I'm like, are you gonna like this? And then I started like, noticing like, a couple likes here and there. And it was like, of course, the same supportive people. So I was like, okay, like, this is my safe space. So I never, I think when I post, I don't really think it's gonna be much. Like I'm just like, just posting. I'm like, hopefully people like it. Like, hopefully.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
I like it.
Yeah. And that's the key right there. You like it. That's what a lot of people forget. It's like, you like it. That should be the most important thing. And you obviously, with the Billie Kay, you wanted to do it. And that's why you had the vibe in it. You were all about it. You wanted to do it. You enjoyed it. And that's kind of why people felt that. People felt that you liked it, you were in it, and they felt that, and that's part of the reason why so many people connected with it. Not only that it was a phenomenal put it together, but they felt that you were into it, and that a lot of people connect with that.
Oh, then that's awesome to me, like to hear, honestly, because there's times where I'm like, I post, I'm like, am I posting this just for me? Because sometimes like, it's just for me, but there's other times where I'm like, let me post it. I was like, to see if people like it, things like that. So it feels good, like, to get that feedback that it was, it was relatable too. And then I got a lot of people just commenting on the fact that they missed the IIconics. I'm like, me too. I'm like, I think it was like the main reason why I did it. Like I missed both of them. I'm so happy for Cassie, and Sean Spears, in their new blessing.
How cute is that?
Of course.
Have you seen it? Did you see his reaction video?
Yeah.
To when he saw the
I cried.
It's so heartwarming.
It was amazing. I'm so happy for them. Like their journeys of what they've, kind of, gone through in the wrestling industry and kind of showing that.
Yeah.
And showing, the personal too, because, they started being more consistent on social media with that. And I was like, like it was so heartwarming. And for me to see them, I actually went to see the Inspiration when they debuted in Impact. So
awesome.
I'm a huge fan. So I'm just like, when they said they were going to be in Vegas and they were there, I was like, I'm buying a ticket, bitch, because I'm being there. Literally, that was like the main reason why I even bought a ticket. I think the show had already been announced. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go. And they're like, Inspiration's going to be, bitch, I'm there.
Yeah.
I didn't do a Billie cosplay. I wanted to so bad, but I didn't because it was like last minute too. I think it was like 2 weeks before the show, so I was like, it's too late for me to do like a cosplay. And I was like, this would have been so perfect. But it played out how it played out, and we are here now. But I'm a huge fan of them. So they
Same.
like, and then for me to be noticed by her, like putting a little heart, I was like,
right. I absolutely love Billie. This was probably 12 years ago or so when they were still running Shimmer. All the Australian girls came over, and she was still known as your favorite girlfriend or something along those lines, Jessie McKay. And she was just the cutest, sweetest little thing. There's people who, like, when they start to get success, it starts to get to them, and she has always been a complete goofball and as sweet as can be. And she's carried it on, like when I've met her more. And it's just so cool, like to know like the people you enjoy or adore or idolize are that person you think they are. It's so much fun because she's awesome.
Oh my God. I would love to meet her. I've heard great things about her. I still haven't had the chance to meet her. A lot of people tell me, yeah, definitely. She is definitely on my bucket list. There's actually a store out here that they sell wrestling merchandise, and they always have wrestler meet and greets. And I have been asking for the Inspiration for a while since they were released from WWE. They were able to be able to book them. So he's been trying to get them, but unfortunately things didn't plan out because right when they were going to say yes, the pandemic stuff happened. So we couldn't have them, and he was expecting it to be a large event. So he knew that there was no way that the city would authorize it, and things like that. So it kept getting pushed. And then eventually he just couldn't book them anymore because then they started their Impact tag team reign. So they were kind of traveling and things like that. So he wasn't able to get. So ever since then, I've been left with like I need to meet them. So I'm just like, but I've heard great things about them, especially both of them. But I'm a huge fan of both. But I love Billie Kay or Jessica. She's I think for me, what I loved about her was just how what she did with her character. Like I was just like, yes, bitch, like you're like, you are, sassy, but you can, pick people's buttons. And I was like, and I think like, at least for me, the end, a lot of people didn't like it, but it was when she was doing the resume thing. I thought it was just the funniest thing ever. I was just like, girl, yes.
One of my favorite things, and granted, I want everybody to get as much TV time as possible, but one of my favorite things that comes out of people not getting TV time is they just start deciding to do themselves. And so more of herself started coming out and these ideas and her personality. And it was like everything she was doing was hitting. It was like Sami Zayn. Like the more you let Sammy become him, the more everything just hits. And it's the wrestling store you're talking. Is that the wrestling superstore in SoCal?
Which one?
The wrestling store you were talking about, yeah.
No, it's actually called the Wrestling Guy Store. This one is located in Huntington Park. They have a lot of meet and greets there that I go to because it's my nearby store.
Did they move stores at all?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they have been in this location probably like 6 to 8 years.
Okay,
around there. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
So they're not fairly new. They've been around.
Because there's not a lot of wrestling superstores.
No. They're
I'm wondering if I have been to that one, and then I'm just kind of misconstruing it with a different time.
Probably
because
there's a couple stores. They're kind of spread out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So there's a couple stores. One of the newer stores that I do visit a lot and I help promote a lot is and I'm pretty sure you guys probably seen them, Jimmy's World Order as well.
Oh yeah.
They're also they do more of a so the Wrestling Guy store is more of like the newer merchandise that's coming out that they carry and things like that, like Funko Pops and things. Jimmy's World Order is more of like collectible memorabilia stuff, more of like WWF style, and they have the Wrestling Guy store is more of current WWE stuff. So it's a little bit of, so we have a little bit of everything here.
Yeah, that's fun. That's cool. Super fun.
I love it. I am coming to realize with, talking to people in the wrestling community is that a lot of people that live in other states aren't as blessed as Chicago and as New York and LA with wrestling.
Yeah. And I can say living in Chicago, yeah, true.
I've heard great things and I wanted to go out this weekend so bad, but tickets got expensive, like flying to Chicago from LA. And it's pricey.
Yeah, honestly, there's been I have a buddy that's flying in from North Carolina to go to the show. He was going to drive, but that turned out to be more expensive. But there's so many people who wanted to be here, but the plane tickets have gotten just so expensive that
so ridiculous. They were like $300 when I first seen it. I was like, oh, maybe they'll die down a little bit closer to the weekend. And I checked earlier this week, almost like $650. I was like,
for a round trip.
Yes, for a round trip.
Girl, why didn't you hit that 300?
Because I wasn't sure at that time if I was going to be going. Like I was still debating if I was going to be attending. But then later on, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's go. I'm going to go. And then when I looked at tickets, I was like, I don't think I want to go anymore. Yeah. Now I'm thinking of going to Full Gear. So I was like, maybe I'll just do Full Gear. I heard it's going to be in Jersey, right? Or something like that.
No
it's
idea.
Probably like the announce. I heard yesterday, I think they were announcing it on Dynamite or something, or around Dynamite or something like that I think the location was going to be in Jersey. So a lot of people are stoked for it. So I'm like, probably be that one.